So it is going to be the first ever Wonderkid video on this channel, and if you guys do want to see more, which clearly you do judging by this vote poll, please do leave a like on the video and do subscribe and turn that notification bell on. But let's go into it and talk about this absolute incredible hot talent. So this is new ground to me, to be honest. It's the first Wonderkid video, so any sort of changes you want to see, please do let me know in the comments. But we are going to go ahead and talk about the player. But firstly, he is going to be coming from Bayern Munich. Now, they've got loads of talent, Bayern Munich. We know this. Absolutely sensational club. But we are going to focus on their hot prospect, funny enough. That is going to be Wanner. Now, this guy is one of my favourite Wonderkids in the game. Absolutely incredible. Only 17 years of age. When you first get him, he's not going to be the best of the best, to be honest with you, but he can grow, and grow. And if anybody knows how FM works, obviously, essentially, it's a bit like a dice roll. I know Jake Cooper pretty much uses that term, and it's very accurate. Essentially, you might get a player that can develop a little bit better, has a little bit more of a range to grow, or a little bit worse. But we are going to see today, over several seasons, an average of what you can expect. But when you first do get this player, you're already picking up quite a decent player who is going to set you back. I wouldn't pay too much attention to this. You'd be more expecting the range of around £33 million. Now, obviously, I know this Wonderkid isn't achievable for every single team. When you first start, you're not going to have that type of funding, but as soon as you've got that money available, and he might be a little bit cheaper for you anyway, do get this guy in, because he is by far the best German Wonderkid midfield player, in my opinion. Absolutely incredible. When you first get him, though, he's got some good physical stats. He's no slouch. 14 acceleration, 14 pace, good fitness as well, coming in at 14, which is not bad at the age of 17 at all. In terms of his mental, you're going to be seeing 12 composure, 16 flair, a real standout there. Decent vision as well, and this is before we've even actually used him. In terms of his technical, this is where some of the standout stats obviously do come in. Quite good dribbling right off the bat, good first touch at 14, good passing, and fantastic technique coming in at 15. The other thing which really does pull me towards this player is the fact that he does play several positions, which is always a go-to in my saves because I like versatile players, really. But I like to run him through the middle. Advanced playmaker is the best position for him, in my opinion. So we're going to develop him, where we're going to train him, and I would highly recommend that is where you play him. But for some reason, you want to push him out wide, you can do so by playing him on the right-hand side, where he can obviously play on the inverted winger, support, inside forward. He can cover it all, really, but if you can, do run him through the middle. In terms of training for this lad, we are going to have him on attack and movement. You can see here, anticipation, decisions, and off the ball are going to be some of the main focuses, and to be honest, it is probably the best one to put on if you are going to be training him in the AMC attacker midfield player role in the centralized area, which we are going to run every single save or every single test throughout this video in that position, because that is where I think he develops best. But realistically, guys, he can get into your team very quickly on. We've got to see very shortly, even within 3 seasons, we saw how much of a sort of difference he's made in his career. So let's go over now and see how he develops in just a few years. So we can see already, this is just within 2 years, by the way. I decided not to go with 3 or 4. We're going to start with 2, because I know some people aren't the most patient people. So you can see now he's already making loads of improvements. You can see what's been on the up. You've got a load of stats in the green now, including his flair, including his vision, including technique, acceleration, and agility. Everything's really going on the up. He's actually now gone up to a 3.5-star ability already inside of 2 seasons. And I didn't even lock him in for the first season. I did forget, being honest. But he's still had an incredible time developing. His value has skyrocketed as well. And he's honestly turning in already to what appears to be a superstar. Going to his history, we are going to see right now, the first season was a little bit more quieter. But there again, I didn't lock him in. But still, 9 goals, 6 assists. Not bad in his first season, considering, and I can't stress enough, he wasn't locked in. The second season nearly gets double the goals and also picks up an extra assist, picking up 7 Player of the Match awards as well. So he is really thriving in this Bayern Munich team. And the Bundesliga, I know it can be classed as an easy league, but at the end of the day, he's still a young lad. He's still trying to earn his stripes, not slipes. And he is really developing well. So this is a little insight of what you can expect in a couple of seasons. Of course, I've gone for you guys further into the future, because I know some of you guys tell me you've got saves that are 20 years old. So let's go over now and simulate a little bit more. We're now in 2027, a few years into the future. And again, he is growing and growing and growing. He's now 22 years of age, so still very young in his footballing career, and his value's absolutely mental. Already at 98 million. That means you could potentially make around £60 million profit on this player already. 4-star ability, 4.5-star potential, and you can see now these stats here are probably what you'd expect of one of the best players you can pick up. You're going to have 16 first touch, great free kicks at 16, good passing coming in at 16 as well, technique pretty much flawless, 17 for that, 17 vision, 16 off the ball, 16 flair. In terms of his physical stats, he is absolutely rapid on the ball now. 16 acceleration, 16 agility, 16 natural fitness, and 17 pace. And this is all done through playing him in that central area of the field. Now, this was a little bit of an interesting run-in as well, because we actually got sacked at the start of this Bundesliga season. So, again, that's another season we've not fully locked him in. So, you guys are probably going to see even better results in a much shorter period than us. But we are going to show you some of his career stats. You can see, obviously, where we picked up from. So it's this point onwards. So these 2 seasons here are going to be the only ones I'm really going to judge, because at the end of the day, this one here, I'm not going to judge because we weren't even managing. Therefore, he wasn't locked into the team. So this season here, obviously 34 appearances. That's 20 goal contributions in 34 games, with 3 player of the matches, averaging a 7.31. So very impressive there. In terms of the next season coming up, which is obviously going to be the 2025-26 season, is going to have 32 appearances, 19 goals, and also 3 assists, meaning that is 22 goal contributions in 32 games. So really is a player you want to have on the field. And the great thing about him is, if you are playing as a powerhouse team, like a Bayern Munich, like a Real Madrid, you can obviously start off by bringing him off the bench. But honestly, if you can, just mould him into your first team, because he will grow really quickly. Now basically simmed maybe a little bit too far, but I've gone to the sort of prime of his career, around 26 years of age. Possibly could have gone further, but do let me know in the comments if you wish me to go further in the next videos, or not as much. I'm just trying to make the perfect video for you guys when it comes to these Wonder Kids. But do you know what? This just shows, I mean, he's 26 years of age, we're a few seasons in now. This is what you could expect to see from this lad here. Obviously, he would have cost us £33 million. He's now estimated at 89 to 108 million pounds. Realistically, you could easily get 130 for him, meaning you can turn yourself a tidy £100 million profit if you were interested in selling him. I don't know why you would be, but if you were, that is something you could do. In terms of his actual stats now, he's a very complete player at the years of 26. So again, the complete package at this age. You've got a player here who can easily play on for another easy 6-7 years. He's going to have 16 acceleration, 17 agility, good fitness, great pace, good anticipation, great composure, good decisions, everything you really want for a cam, to be honest with you. Obviously, always run through that central area of the park. But if we do quickly look, although he's not been told to play there, he's also developed really well in this position here and maintains that 4.5-star ability level. So he can easily be a hybrid between on the wing and playing in the central area, which is always handy, especially if your squad isn't that big and he can cover 2 areas. So it does help having a player like this. And there's a lot we're going to look into this guy. So the first thing is, we are going to go ahead and have a little bit more of a look at these stats. So we have sort of started or paused midway through a season. So again, this top one we can't really pay too much attention to. But this one here, so from this point onwards, 33 appearances, 25 goal contributions, 15 goals and 10 assists. So a very good season there. A little bit of a quiet season here in this season. 32 appearances, 11 goals, 6 assists. I guess it's still 17 contributions. This was a really good season here with 34 appearances, 18 goals and 11 assists. And the last complete season we're actually going to judge is where he's clearly hit his prime, as we are going to be looking at 34 appearances and 34 goal contributions, meaning he is contributing, whether that be an assist or a goal, every single game. And you can't have a player that does that consistently that often over an FM save. So it's quite scary that this guy can even get better, because he's not completely hit his potential yet. So if you were to pick up from this point, you're going to have an absolute monster. So definitely a player you guys need to have in your FM saves. But lastly, before we do call it a day for today, we are going to go over some of his personal achievements just to see how well he has actually done at the club. So you can see here, he picked up an award here, named in Bayern Munich Seasonal Best 11 in 2023, and also won the European Golden Boy Award in the 2023. So that is a fantastic trophy to win over some really good players as well in here. You can see some of the players that obviously have have won it. The likes of, for example, these are all going to be regens by now. Xavi Simons is a very good comparison. We won it here. Obviously, Renato Sanchez, Martial back then. That's always interesting. But he's featured in this award, which obviously is very good, doing that at the age of 19. 2024 season, he was named in Austria Seasonal Best 11. Also, Bayern Munich Seasonal Best 11. He was actually the Bundesliga top goal scorer and the Germans Player of the Year runner-up. So that is a fantastic award for a player of his age to be picking up. And also won FIFA Best Under 21 Men's Player. Just showing you, I mean, what is this? A few seasons, two really full seasons, picking up some of the biggest awards he can physically win. In the next season, there's absolutely loads. I mean, we're going to be looking at here. Let's just make sure I don't skip anything. Again, it's going to be German Footballer of the Year, German's Player of the Year, Bundesliga top goal scorer, named in the Bayern Munich Seasonal Best 11. Again, it's constant awards for this guy all the way through every single season. You can see they're never ending. But I thought I would show you some of his actual milestones as a player at the time at Bayern Munich. But definitely, guys, go and pick this guy up if you can afford him. And if you do enjoy the Wonderkid videos on this channel, be sure to leave a like, drop a little comment below on any other potential Wonderkid videos you want to see, whether that be a certain position or you just want to see some more hidden gems. Be sure to leave a like, drop a little subscription, and I'll catch you in the next one.